Hello, good evening and welcome. And today on the Superior Star Wars show, I'm going over my personal tier list from worst to best of every single Star Wars film. As well as that, we've got a new little mic, so hopefully the audio sounds a bit better for you watching at home. And also I've got a little mini unboxing I'm going to chuck in at the beginning. Is it unboxing if it's in a bag? I don't know. Run the intro. So, like what I said, we've got a little mini box unboxing, unbagging of a couple of little things I bought. So 2 seconds. There we go. So I got this. Should be just a couple of things. But hey. And we've got a t-shirt, which is an Ahsoka Tano t-shirt. Same one as Joe got. This is a, hope it fits me right, looks a bit big. Oh well, a little bit of baggy never hurt anyone. That's a really cool t-shirt though. And I also got this one, but like I said, Joe's got that one. And he opens his up and with a bit more detail in his unboxing video he did a week or two ago, which I will link in the description below. I've also got this one. Wow, that's really cool. Another Ahsoka one, tattoos and that. But yeah, they came from Hard Times Clothing and if I'm wrong, I'll put it in a box somewhere. Hard Times Clothing, which I'll put a link for in the description below if you enjoy them or want to get your own, like I did. I saw Joe's, wanted one, got it. So, on the actual video, we're going to do the, not top 10, but the top tier list. Yeah, the tier list from worst to best of my personal opinion of Star Wars films. So, last on our list, right at the bottom, in 11th place, we have Episode 8, The Last Jedi. And why is that film at the bottom of my list? Well, in my opinion, nothing happens in it. There's a cool lightsaber fight where Rey and Kylo team up. I mean, the bit at the end with Crate, Luke comes at the Battle of Crate, I wouldn't have done it that way. Snoke's death was done purely for shock and not to progress the story, and that's why it comes in at 11th place. So in 10th place is Solo, A Star Wars Story. This film came out a year after The Last Jedi in 2018, so it got a lot of flack from The Last Jedi, which Solo didn't really deserve, but it is 10th on my list for a reason, and them reasons are, I feel like they pushed a bit too much real life politics into it, and it just, out of every character they could have made like a standalone film for, I wouldn't have picked Han Solo. There was so many other people you wanted to see this backstory of, like Jango Fett, Boba Fett, Qui-Gon Jinn. I mean, literally anyone, like Kenobi. But yeah, Solo film did just not do it for me. So, 9th place on our list is Episode 1, Phantom Menace. And the reason it comes this low is because of Jar Jar Binks. Joking. I mean, Jar Jar Binks was alright, he was funny on occasion, I guess. And he did actually help push the story forward by getting into the Senate and helping out. But no, Phantom Menace was a good film, really. You think the choreography and the lightsaber fights were phenomenal. The Buntareve pod race is one of the in a lot of people's opinion, is some of the best stuff in all of Star Wars. Them pod races are amazing. So overall, good film, but just not as good as some of the others. So, 8th on our list is Episode 7, The Force Awakens. This film came out in 2015 and it was a brilliant nostalgia trip. You can't fault me for saying that. It really was. It took the best things out of the original trilogy that we all love and gave them to us again. But you can't have a film that's all based on nostalgia, can you? I mean, it brought us some new characters. Some say Rey's a bit of a Mary Sue in this film, all a bit too easy for her. We'll get into that in probably a different video. But yeah, Force Awakens was a good film overall. I mean, weren't as good as it could have been, but you get what you're given. So, 7th on our list, we have Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. This film came out in 2002, so I think this is the first film I actually saw at the cinema. Or say, first Star Wars film I saw at the cinema. But yeah, this film's a good film, you know. In my opinion, it's the start of the like, Skywalker saga. Because you see Anakin's struggle with authority and just how angry he is and just starting to go down the path to become Darth Vader. But other than that, you have the amazing battle scene in the Geonosis arena, which is just amazing, and it really does just feels like it kicks off the Star Wars like runtime for me, you know. That's a good film. So in 6th place on my list, we have Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. This film came out in 1980, so a bit before my time, but no, this film is a great Star Wars film. You have the big reveal of Darth Vader being Luke's father. Spoiler alert. I should probably put the spoiler alert before I said that, but if you haven't seen Star Wars yet, why are you watching this? But no, The Empire Strikes Back is just, it really is a great Star Wars film, and in many people's opinion, it is probably the best Star Wars film. But in my opinion, there's a lot of other films that have a bit more sentimental value to me, or that I just find more visually appealing. So, 5th place, number 5 on my list, Episode 4, A New Hope. This is the first ever Star Wars film to be released back in 1977. And this film, I remember taking the video off my dad's shelf and watching it for the first time and just being like, wow, the intro of Darth Vader, this whole new concept really come to life for me, and always holds a big place in my heart, this film, and that is purely the reason this comes 5th place. A New Hope, well done. So, 4th on our list is Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. I know, one of the sequel trilogy films is in my top 5. Oh well, but no, The Rise of Skywalker, in my opinion, actually does a really good job finishing the Skywalker saga. You know, I quite like the idea Palpatine came back. Some people don't. I quite enjoyed it. I feel the whole film felt like a really solid Star Wars film, and it was just fun to watch. And unlike a couple of other Star Wars films where you re-watch them and you start finding other things you dislike, Rise of Skywalker did not do that. Every time I re-watched it, I enjoyed it just as much every time. So, number 3, we have Rogue One. This film, it puts the war in Star Wars. It feels more like a war film than some space opera wizard stuff, you know. It was so gritty and so relevant for the Star Wars fans of today. It was dark, gritty, it was action-packed, you know. And some people say the story was just about the prelogue of A New Hope. I don't care. It was an amazing film, start to finish. I could re-watch it on repeat, you know. Rogue One, it's an amazing film. If you haven't seen it, I recommend it. And if you don't like this film, tell that Kanji Club, eh? So, 2nd place on my list is Return of the Jedi. Yes, the one with all the little teddy bears, the little Ewoks. Personally, this film, for me, this film came out in 1983. So when I first watched it, I was only a kid. So I loved them, you know. This whole film, it was my favourite one. When I grabbed the videos off my dad's shelf, this would be the one I'd put on. It was just so much fun, the story was well rounded, and it ends perfectly with, it's got so much emotion in it, and everyone in it just has a purpose. And well done to George Lucas for doing this film. I think it really is a brilliant film, and it holds a big place in my heart, and that's why it gets second place on my list. So, first place for me, Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. This is, for me, it has the best lightsaber fights, the best story. I mean, this is where it all comes together. It's the fall of Anakin Skywalker and the rise of Darth Vader. It has so much emotion in it. Like when Order 66 happens, you feel for every Jedi, and it just makes you can almost feel the disturbance in the Force watching it. You're just like, and yeah, Revenge of the Sith, it all comes together. It's the most focal point and the main changing point of all the films in Star Wars. For me, you can't beat it. Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. I love it. So, here's our list, well, my list of every Star Wars cinematic film. And if you don't agree with me, that's okay. It's just an opinion. I would like to hear your opinions below in the comments, or you can just shout at me because I haven't put your favourite at the top, or you think I'm mad for putting that film so high up. But anyway, like, share and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys next time in a bit.